It scares me so bad. It's so hard. Like, you know, I see him get hit by a car. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a collaboration with a few other mamas here on YouTube. So this one is a tag video and it's my first tag video, so I'm super excited. I was tagged by Blanca from the.g.life and I'm super excited to do this one. It is the Mommy Confessions tag. I'm gonna leave the mamas that I'm tagging down below so you guys can go check them out, and let's get to this. Okay, to start off with, first mom confession. Let me show you. See, this is all business on the top and all mom on the bottom. I'm in my comfy shorts. Yep. Just wanted to put that out there. And you know what she's doing over there. I'll be right back. That's already cold. All right, now that I microwaved my coffee for, I think, like the second time, let's get into the questions. There's 25 of them, so I'm gonna try not to talk too much because I tend to do that, and just give you an answer for the question. So the first one is, you're standing with another mom at the playground and notice her underwear is showing. Do you tell her? What do you say? It depends on how well I know the mom. If it's some random woman that I've never seen before, I don't know, probably not, unless I already knew them. Next question is, if you had a 25-hour day and everyone else still only had 24, what would you do with the extra time? I would sleep. Simple, sleep. That's what I would do. I would just get that extra hour of sleep that I need. Yep, that's it. Next question, is there a food that you think is really gross but you make your kids eat it because it's good for them? No, I'm not a fan of the whole do as I say, not as I do way of parenting. I'm all about leading by example. So if I expect my kids to eat it, then I'm gonna eat it. And sometimes it actually works the opposite way. There's things that I don't like to eat that they do, and I won't give it to them because I'm like, that's gross, like they're not gonna like that. And then my husband gives it to them and then he's like, well, they like it. So there's actually things that they do like that I don't, but I always try to parent by leading by example. If you were stranded with your kids, what are 3 things you hope to have on hand? Diapers, some sort of hand sanitizer or disinfectant, and my essential oils, because I need something to not be stressed out. If I only have 3 things on me and I'm stranded, that's what it would be. What kids show do you wish you could eliminate so that no mom ever has to sit through it again? The Baby Shark song. Oh my God, I'm so sick of this song. It is Gracie's favorite song right now and she loves it. She thinks it's just so funny. She smiles, she gets like, it's cute to watch her do it, but man, that song is annoying and it's everywhere. It's everywhere, like there's no avoiding it, and I'm just so sick of it. Like, I have nightmares of that song. At what age did your kids stop embarrassing you and you started to embarrass them? I'm not at that point yet. They are still embarrassing me, and there's not much that I could do to embarrass them because they don't understand that I'm embarrassing them. So it takes out the fun. I've tried, I'm not gonna lie, I've tried to embarrass them, but they just think it's funny. So it's really not having the effect that it needs to yet, but I will get them back one day. What's something in your house that for some reason only a mom's eye can see? Apparently anything that's on the floor, only I see, because I'm the only one that picks it up. What would you change about your favorite restaurant to make it more kid-friendly? For us, it would be like the menu items, because my son Liam is on the gluten-free and casein-free diet. There's a lot of things that he can't have. And then I recently switched to a more plant-based diet. I don't really call myself vegan because I'm not like 100%. So just definitely plant-based, and it's very hard to find around here. And then I'm also gluten-free, so I just don't have those kinds of options. So we actually don't even really have a favorite restaurant. I think we eat out maybe once a month, or probably even less. Do you have a secret fear that you hide from your kids? My son Liam, he does not have a sense of danger. So he takes off running, and it scares me so bad that he will take off running, and I will have, you know, my other two kids with me, and I see him get hit by a car, or he gets away from me and I lose him. For example, at the park, since Gracie's been born, I have not taken the kids to the park by myself because I have that much anxiety about going by myself and Liam deciding to take off running. Because what do I do with Gracie? She's in the stroller or she's strapped onto me on the carrier, and I can't run with her on me. If I needed to go after Liam, he is fast. He is very, very fast. And if she was in the stroller, well, do I take off running with the stroller? What if it tips over, so something happens, and or he goes through a place where I can't get onto the stroller, or he runs out in front of the car and I'm pushing the stroller? Well, I have to leave her behind. It's just, these are just my fears. I think that comes more from being an autism mom. For me, that's my biggest fear because it's something that I live every day, of him not understanding danger and him taking off running and not understanding the situation that he could get hurt or die. Oh, that's a hard question to answer. If there was one mommy duty that you would never have to do again, what would it be? If I could eliminate a duty, it would be to not have to wash the cloth diapers anymore. It's just so annoying. I love the cloth diapers. I think they're great and you save money, which is like the #1 thing why I wanted to do it. And then it's better for the environment. There's not so much waste, but it's just, it can be a hassle, especially when you have 2 older kids to take care of. So that would be what I eliminate. If somebody showed up to your house unannounced, what's the one room you'd be embarrassed for them to go in? Probably my living room, because most of the time it's not too clean because we live here. Like, my biggest priority is not having a clean house, it's their diet. With Liam's diet and eating specific food and everything, it's not very cost effective to just go and buy convenient food, which, you know, it's like food from the freezer. So you can find, you know, vegan food that's frozen or pre-cooked for you, or gluten-free stuff, but it's gonna cost you an arm and a leg. So I do a lot of that cooking myself, and my priority is just in that right now, as opposed to making sure that everything is picked up at my house all the time. So my living room for sure. Describe a time when you did something really silly because of lack of sleep. I took my son to school when there was no school. I think that was probably like the silliest thing that I've done. I just, you know, when you wake up late because you had a long night and you just throw yourself out of bed and you start going and packing lunches and getting kids dressed, and then by the time I got there and I saw that there was no cars, I was just like, are you kidding me? I could have slept in. Ironically, from the lack of sleep. What's the last thing you bribed your kid to do? Probably to pick up their stuff off the floor or to finish their meal, one of those 2 things. And I usually bribe with like fruit snacks or gummies. We call that candy. That's candy in my house. So yeah, probably definitely one of those 2 things. Cleaning up after themselves or finishing their food. What's something that you used to wear before you had kids that you don't wear now? Any shirt without a bra? It's not a pretty sight without a bra after breastfeeding 3 kids. Let's just leave it at that. What's the last thing you told your kid not to touch? I have 2 toddler boys. So, and you guys are boy mamas out there, you guys might know what I'm talking about here. Yeah, I don't think I need to say anything more than that. Just, I have 2 little boys. If you could choose if your kids went to bed earlier at night or slept in the morning, which would you pick? Definitely that they go to bed earlier at night. We do get them to bed at like between 8 and 8:30, but if I could do like earlier and they would stay asleep, then that would be so much better, because I am not a morning person. I get all of my stuff done at night usually. So if I could have more time before I go to sleep, then that would help me. Which was harder for you, potty training or sleep training? Definitely sleep training. Potty training with Liam was, I feel like I had it relatively easy. There's still kids his age at 5 years old who have difficulty with potty training for an autistic child. And he potty trained at 3 years old. It took him a little while longer to like fully transition, and like especially at night, he still wore a diaper until he was like 4. And then with Jackson, it happened just like within a couple of days, and he almost never has an accident. So potty training was definitely easy. Sleep training, we're still working on, so definitely failing at sleep training. If you could share 3 pieces of advice with your younger self before having kids, what would they be? 1, finish school before you have your kids. And 2, I would change my eating habits. I feel so much better now that I have eliminated a lot of like the junk food and stuff, especially how much I used to eat back then. I can only imagine how much better I would have felt in my younger self if I would have been eating the way that I'm eating today. And a 3rd, maybe learn to go with the flow a little bit more. I stressed myself out for such a long time, and if things didn't go like according to plan or a specific way that it was supposed to, then I would get so upset. So as each kid has come into my life, you have to let go of that a little bit more and understand that you just cannot control every single situation, and you need to loosen up the reins a little bit. That would have helped me out a lot more. What question might your kid ask that you aren't ready to answer? Probably about the birds and the bees. They're still really little, so I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. I hope it's not going to happen anytime soon, but I have not even thought about how that conversation is going to go yet. I should probably think about it so that way I'm prepared for it when they do ask that question, but I hope that doesn't come for a while. Which household chore do you prefer your kid not to help out with? The dishes, probably. Emptying out the dishwasher. I can still be a bit specific and perfectionist about things, so if things don't get put away where they're supposed to and then I can't find it later on because it's not put back where it's supposed to, then I get upset. So just to avoid all of that, I will do that part myself. They love to vacuum for me, so that's great. They can vacuum the whole house anytime they want to. So sometimes they pull out the vacuum on their own when the baby's asleep. Maybe vacuuming I don't want them to help me with. I would just rather do things myself. I mean, I know that it's good for them and they need to learn the responsibilities, but sometimes they just mess up your house even more than it already is. Would you rather the entire household get sick all at once or one by one? Definitely all at once. Oh my gosh. If I can avoid having to go, I mean, that's 3 kids and then my husband and then me. That's 5 weeks of sickness. No, thank you. Please just all like 1 week, get it out of the way. We're all sick. all cranky, and then everything goes back to normal after that. If you're rushing to go somewhere with your kid, what are you most likely to forget? Everything. Everything. I forget everything when I'm in a rush. Oh my gosh. For a while I was forgetting. I just recently stopped breastfeeding my baby, and so I'm not used to having to pack a bottle and formula and everything, and I was forgetting that. Normally we don't go very far away from my house, so it wasn't too big of an issue. I was able to get home and get her bottle, but because I was not used to not carrying my milk around with me everywhere, I had to always make sure that I was packing a bottle and formula. What song or movie title best describes your experience as a mom? I would say Bad Moms. I was actually talking to Ashley from ThePotterPack about this the other day. She's like, wow, you're juggling so much. I'm like, it's not so much of juggling as it is of desperately trying not to let the balls hit the floor. I think Bad Moms shows that perfectly. If, you know, you're just trying so hard to do everything that you can, and somewhere you're still falling short, and I can totally relate to that. What is the most embarrassing personal care item you've had to buy in a store? Probably hemorrhoid cream. You know, after labor, when times are tough, and you gotta get so much stuff that they don't tell you about before you have a baby, and it's embarrassing. So yeah, probably any aftercare, or like the big, like giant pads that you have to get after labor. Those, somewhere in between those two things, definitely embarrassing. All right, and the last question is, what's one thing you've said to your kid that you never expected to say? God, I can't think of an exact thing at the moment, because those things that you never expect to say happen when you're not expecting to say them, right? So I think definitely something that my mom used to tell me, and you know, you always go, oh, I'm not gonna be like my mom, I'm not gonna say that, and then you say it and you're like, oh my god, I'm turning into my mother. So hi mom, if you're watching this. There's been things that I know that I said, I'm never gonna tell my kid that, and then you do. I can't think of it at the moment right now, but definitely those are the things that you don't expect to say, that in the heat of the moment end up coming out of your mouth. So thanks mom. Look who woke up in time just to make it into the end of the video. You want to end the video with me? Thank you guys so much for watching. I enjoyed doing this tag video so much. Thank you, Blanca, for tagging me. And check out the mamas that I tagged. They're gonna be in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Bye-bye.